Many students with dyslexia often face challenges in the public education system. Some of those challenges are being addressed in a new report by Dyslexia BC, along with recommendations on how to better support these learners. To tell us more about that report, we are joined by Kathy McMillan of Dyslexia BC. Kathy, thanks so much for being with us.
Good morning, Sonia. Thanks for having me.
For sure. Before we get into the details of the report, just when we look at BC, how common is dyslexia?
It's super common. 1 in 5 people has dyslexia. So in a classroom of 25 kids, there's going to be probably 5 kids.
And how would you define it? What are the markers? How would someone know that they have it? I mean, I think that there are some stereotypical ideas of what dyslexia is, but maybe you can define it for us.
Sure. It's a neurological processing issue, and it is genetic in nature. So it doesn't come from anything environmental. It comes from your genes. And it's lifelong. So it also presents differently in every single person that has it.
All right. And how much understanding do you think there is within our education system when it comes to dyslexia?
I think there's quite a bit of misunderstanding when it comes to dyslexia. Dyslexia is actually one of the 4 learning disabilities, and it makes up about 80 to 90% of all learning disabilities. Yet you often hear from teachers, "Oh, this is the first dyslexic student I've ever had," or kids will outgrow it. You hear all kinds of strange things that just aren't true.
All right. And so your report is looking deeper into this, and there are some recommendations. Tell us about the findings.
Okay. Well, we did some surveys over the last 4 to 5 years, and we surveyed over 1,000 people, all from BC and all over the place. We had, we thought we'd get mostly people from the Lower Mainland, but we had a pretty good representation from all over the province. And basically, the results weren't too surprising. Families are having troubles and struggling with trying to get supports and funding for their dyslexic kids. And to solve the issues, the report is going to be released today, and the recommendations are for policy and legislation so that implementation of supports gets put across the province equitably, and hopefully get funding, as well as start screening for dyslexia as early as kindergarten, and start using what they call the science of reading, and some teacher training. And the last thing, of course, would be some centers, specifically trained teachers with centers to reach those hard to reach learners that have profound or severe dyslexia.
Have you had any conversations with the province or the education minister about these recommendations, or just the report in general?
I have been to see Jennifer Whiteside, Rob Fleming. I've been to see Rashna Singh a couple times now, and I've left similar recommendations on their desks and haven't really heard that much back from them, to be honest.
How disappointing is that?
It's very disappointing, actually, that I mean, I've been at this for about 7 or 8 years now in BC, actually almost 10 years, and written a few times to the ministry, and you don't get much response back. It's really disappointing.
And is that part of the funding need that is required to better support these learners? Yes.
Students with dyslexia are categorized under Category Q in the legislation in BC, and they are part of the special education policies, but they are one of the 12 groups that doesn't come with supplemental funding. So what tends to happen is the districts just go, well, it doesn't come with funding, so this child doesn't get supports. And they even tell parents that your child does not come with funding. So it's super disappointing to be just dismissed because your category doesn't come with funding.
Absolutely. Well, these recommendations have been released. People can go to Dyslexia BC's website for more information. And Kathy, I want to thank you very much for bringing this to our attention today.
Yes, thanks for having me. It was great to see you this morning.
All right, you as well. Have a good day.